Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. I hope you guys are doing well. For those of you returning, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Nicole. Guys, it's Thursday already. I was thinking yesterday was Thursday. I don't know. I've got myself all mixed up. It's just the way it is. Okay, so this is going to be your daily reading. This is going to be for Thursday, January. You know, yesterday I just said, I've gotten so much better with the dates and the days, and now here I am going, oh, what date is it? It's January 11th. Thursday, January 11th. I hope you guys are doing well. New moon is on the horizon. I'm not quite sure what day that is. I've got to look that up. I want to say quickly, too, you know, I'm watching the channel grow. It's been amazing. I'm super excited for the things that are happening. I may end up starting doing some lives and things like that as well. So if I do, I'll post that, give you guys the heads up. But I don't know, I'm just watching the channel grow. I'm super excited about the positive things that are happening, despite a rough start to 24, I think, for most of us. So I just wanted to say thank you for all the ways you support the channel. So thanks. Thank you. All right, guys, let's just jump right into your reading for today. Again, hope you're doing well. Hope your week is going good. Air signs and fire signs, your inner child readings will be coming out here before long, so we'll get those and get on to some other things. Personal reads, hoping to open those not this next week but the following week, and there will be information in the description box with that as well. So all right, let's get to it. I've got enough gabbing, 2 minutes in, right? All right, guys, collective or spirit for the collective. What does the collective need to know? Spirit just said this is an opportunity for you guys to try something new. So I'm not quite sure what that's about yet, but you know, the intuitive messages, I enjoy it that way. Divine feminine and solar plexus energy there. You know, that divine feminine energy, we talked about that there a bit at the end of the year last year, 2023, and I'm going to go back to that. I'm obviously cards shifting back to that. You know, we have both the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy within us. It's like what side of that, or which one of those are we kind of stepping into in a moment? Where are we feeling like we need to nurture things, love things, be receptive and open, creating new life, you know, all of those wonderful things? Or are we needing to kind of, I hate to say man up, that sounds so sexist, I'm not but just kind of, I'm going to call it bossing up, right? Stepping into a much more powerful position, I guess would be the way. You know, you look at the way the world has been for, you know, hundreds of years. That's kind of like the energy that's in tune with how we see the divine masculine, right? Like, how rough, tough, ready are they? On a spiritual plane, I don't see it that way, but 3D world, that's where we are. Solar plexus, confidence. Spirit is saying the space to breathe from that solar plexus today. Confidence, willpower, our ego, our happiness, our sunshine, our joys. You know, all chakra centers have good and bad qualities, right? Like anything else, there's always a contrast. But I do feel like you're growing more confident in how you see yourself. And I feel like, ooh, yeah, Spirit's coming in heavy now. You know, talking about the divine feminine, and it's not just for females, right? It's not just for the ladies out there. This is males too. Again, it's incorporating both within us. And a lot of that is how, it's kind of like Queen of Wands, like how you see yourself, whether it's on a plane of looking good, feeling good, feeling like you have accomplished and achieved a value to yourself, or recognizing that anything that has defeated you, like it's okay to attend to things in a softer nature. So, you know, talking about grace and compassion, things of that regard, is like how you're handling situations, right? The ego on the unhealthy side of it is difficult, to say the least, right? We are pushing and pulling and trying to control But with this mix of divine feminine energy, it's nurturing the things that are important to us. It is to come into a space of love and giving receptivity, without really having to force anything. And Spirit is saying right now is the time to step into that energy of just being receptive. And it doesn't mean you have to make moves. They're giving me the Hangman. It doesn't mean that you have to make moves on anything. It's just embracing like the here and the now, understanding what has led you to this very moment, even if it's been trying. And they just kind of keep reemphasizing the difficulties around situations, and you allow it to turn you Queen of Swords kind of energy, cold, detached, tucking your emotions away, being hardcore, cutting, that kind of thing, but yet you're not, or at least you shouldn't be. This is okay. Like if you're coming up against a challenge, you could retaliate, you could react and just be like, pound salt, buddy. But instead you're just like, I'm going to show you grace. I'm going to give you something more than you would be likely to give me. So it's like, understanding both sides of the coin, depending on the situation and or person you're dealing with. And then also doing it with yourself. Spirit is saying, don't forget you. And I see that come up a lot in the readings that I do. Like, don't forget about you and what it is that you need and how you're handling yourself. Spirit is saying, handle yourself with care. You deserve that care. So just that underlying energy there on the split, lots and lots of messages with that. So let's see what situation and or person is coming up that, or again, it could just be simply about you, that you need to handle a particular situation that way. So let's see, Spirit, what does the collective need to know today? Passion. Listen, some of you, and healing. Transmuting the energy of, again, I kept getting that feeling of that difficulty, right? This is not allowing other people or situations to diffuse what makes you happy. Not allowing other things to come in and take away your passions for life, for your creative endeavors, for your family, for anything that makes you feel whole and brings you joy. Through this collective, it's like you're healing the most, I don't want to call them damaged parts, but it feels like that. Like what has been so difficult for so long for a lot of you, you can either let your passions die out and kind of throw in the towel and go, I'm done. Or you can step into this mode of, these challenges have not been for no good reason whatsoever. This is my ability, this is my opportunity to take that passion, that fire, that drive, and cultivate it for something that's going to ascertain a well-being within you that heals. I do feel like, and I can't help but feel this way, that it's drawing some boundaries too with this. Not allowing other people to take away what you've worked for, what you've driven yourself to. Third eye chakra, seeing and then integrating universal love and alchemy. This is like, for some of you too, this could be simply realizing that you've let some passions go. When we talk about passions, it's like, simple example. Maybe you love to run. Maybe you like to go out to the bike trail or wherever you live or whatever you do around the neighborhood and run. The weather got cold and crappy depending on where you are. I've got the hiccups again. I can't help it. I'm so sorry. Every day of my life, I think it's like I must be growing every day. Anyways, good Lord. Maybe that was your thing. That's where you put out your energy at, and that made you feel good, and it lit you up and gave you more to make things happen. So then it gets cold, and now it's like, oh, I've been in the house for 2 months, and it's too cold to do anything. Like, but there's something around this, regardless of what that passion is for you, that is creating and inspiring you to go at something harder, and not in the sense being harder of being resistant to something, but again, using what it is that's going on in your world to be a motivating factor, to be a motivation, to be a drive, to propel you forward. Through this, whether you realize this or not, 10:01 on the clock, whether you realize this or not, it is creating a space. You are creating an internal space for yourself to heal things and obstacles that maybe have stood in your way for so long that it's just like, will this shit ever end? And I'm going to say, the more you channel this energy to a positive outcome for yourself, to a positive vibration that is bringing in rewards. I mean, you could sit there in the Five of Cups energy and just go, oh gosh, I'm going through this and be in a sense of victim mode, but you're not. You're like, what drives me? And what I think is really beautiful about this Passion card, it looks like there's hearts going around that, right? So it's an inspiration to do what you love. It's inspiring you to love the things, to nurture the things that are, they treat you kindly in return. So whether it's a person, yourself, I really feel like this is more about you today, which makes me happy because that's why we're here. We're here to take care of you, right? But it's an inspiration. What I thought was interesting, and I kind of had to laugh, is I'm like looking at this Passion card and I'm like, look at the colors. And you see the colors. I just like pull something out of the closet. Today I felt like looking a little country. I don't know. But you see the colors, and I thought to myself as I was talking to you guys, there's that blue, and that blue is a signifier, whether of the third eye, that indigo color, or the blue is also, the throat chakra. So, and I'm going to say, you may not be speaking on or maybe really communicating to other people what it is that you are being inspired to do at this time. And if you feel like it's almost like you're trying to keep it for yourself, you're like, you may not fully understand how much you're changing and how much you're healing and growing at this time, but it's happening. And you're allowing it to just kind of come through, and it feels subtle, but it does bring in a sense of some kind of peace. For some of you, I think there's a bit of an unknown attached to that. Like, I don't know what's coming after this happens, or this thing starts to evolve, or I get outside of a situation that does give me space to heal. And so for that reason alone, it's kind of like I'm just going to keep quiet. And, some of you guys could be reading, writing, maybe painting. I don't know. Maybe some of you are working on a masterpiece, and just don't want nobody to see my work right now. Give me time, that kind of thing. But I think ultimately, collective, you are the masterpiece that you're working on. You are what you are working on. And it's the space that you're giving yourself in this healing energy is really beautiful. And again, that third eye behind it is opening you up to see things. I said hangman energy, right? Kind of see that there. It's in suspension, and you may have been in a space of feeling like your goals, your wishes, even you yourself were in suspension, or being put on hold in some way. But I do think that whatever it is, and over the next week, Spirit is saying, you may find that you're starting to come out of that energy. You're starting to open up again, and it's a fabulous place to be, collective. It really truly is. All right, so let's see what else is going on here. I'm going to keep this shorter than yesterday. Yesterday's was a half an hour, goodness, but it was necessary. So, all right, Spirit, what does the collective need to know today? Yay! 6th chakra. There's that third eye again. You can't, on the underlying energy there. I talked about that Queen of Wands. This woman holding a coin to me, she's very much gives me the Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords kind of vibes. I said that the other day. What sits beneath that is door to value. So again, it could be a sense of heightened intuition as well right now. But the thing back here is, somebody external to you, something external to you, kept you in that pause mode. There it is. The attachment and the garden and the gate. She's got the opportunity at any point to key around her neck. She's got the key to the gate to get out of that energy. And something there is stopping her. Something there has created a hesitancy. It's created a pause. It's created the feeling of being constrained and refined. I mean, this woman on this attachment card, there's a false self there. There's a false sense of something there with that mask. She's removing that, but something else still has her chained to that pole, right? And it's like, whatever this is happening, whatever is occurring, oh my goodness, you're starting to realize that these are not the chains that bind you forever. this was temporary. There was something here that was keeping you stuck, essentially. It's like the Eight of Swords, right? Part of this, I'm going to say collective, has been your own way of thinking. The other part of this, though, is being put into situations that were requiring you to step into a more confident version of yourself. And it's like, and then we've got the Patience and the Sun, right? That come out together on this. Realizing, you know, and say your value and your worth with this door to value. This could even be blockages. Somebody was trying to hold back money, funds. You know, some of you could have been in, you could be still in some litigation and things like that. But I think that you're starting to have the foresight to kind of anticipate what other people are doing with this woman. I want to go the Queen of Wands again. This woman holding a coin in the third eye. Is you're starting to see something more clearly here. I feel like some of you are waiting for a final conclusion, and with the Sun card coming out there, for some of you, I think that this is like, no matter what I do, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. It's a no-win situation. But ultimately, like this period of stagnancy or a moment of pause has been for your higher good. It's kind of like the stars in the background, the divine aligning things so that you can have stronger boundaries in the future. And I'm going to say, like, you think about where you've been in the past. Spirit's bringing this to my attention. Your happiness, maybe your money, your resources, whatever it is for you. And it could be all of those things over the last few years that, especially when it comes to relationships, partnerships, where you were the nurturer and carer with that divine feminine energy. How much of those things did you give away for free? How much did you deplete yourself for the sake of something else or someone else? This Patience breaks down to a 7. There's boundaries there that needed to be placed. There had to be lessons that you were learning going, I'm giving too much of me away. And I think it's being highlighted because whatever this cycle is getting ready to close out for you. You know, we're always opening and closing various cycles in our lives. And I kind of feel like that's what this is Spirit puts you on pause. And you may feel like in that pause, like, when do I get my happiness? When do I get to just live freely? When do I get to just exude what makes me happy, to live in what makes me happy? Because it's like the heart is opening up with all this green. I mean, even the Sun card, she's got a ton of green with her. Blues, there's an overflow of emotions. There's happiness, there's joy. You know, she's being warmed by the sun. There's harmony, there's balance, there's new life. And it's coming. It is coming. So if you're in a position right now, you got 2 7s here, which I kind of like that. If you're in this position where you're kind of like, I'm at the end of my rope. I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of feeling like I've been put on pause. It's coming. And I think, again, intuitively, a lot of you know it's all just a temporary thing. Everything in this life is temporary. And recognizing that you had to go through these challenges, you had to learn to emit those boundaries in the appropriate places so that when you step into this sun, when you step into your ultimate happiness, your wish fulfillment, your joy, all things that are good, you're not going to give that shit up for free next time. You're going to value that more than ever before because you realize, like, maybe the last couple of years have been extremely trying for you, right? It's like you realize the effort that you have put in to get to where you are. And once, you don't understand or appreciate something until you're the one that has to do the work to get it. It's like, think about your kids. Like, your kids are anything like mine. Like, just leave the garbage in mom's car. Well, girl, boy, whatever. Like, I've worked my butt off to get these things and provide these things for us, take care of them, right? So, little example there. But, right, it rings true. Like, you want to be able to enjoy and appreciate how far you've come and not take yourself for granted, in the middle of all of that. So I think it's important that you guys recognize that specific thing here is that what has got you to the point of stepping into that passion, stepping into this abundance for yourself, and abundance in all forms, you've worked really hard to get there. And now that you've gained some lessons, you've gained the wisdom and the knowledge along the way, during these periods where you've had time to reflect, Spirit will stop us so that we can gain insight and wisdom. We can't do it if we're running the rat race every day. We don't even give it a second thought. So this slowdown was meant to create space for you to heal, also create space for you to feel excited about life again, excited about the things that you plan on doing. So enjoy it. Enjoy that energy that's coming in for you. All right, let's see. Spirit just said, you get to create. You get to create. I also, I don't know why. Well, okay, now I see why. I was looking at the 16 on the patience card. I'm such a numbers nut. I hated math in school, and here I am numerology-wise. I love it. It's the weirdest thing. They're night and day difference. You see it two different ways. I kept getting 17 though, because that broke down to a 7. I was like, where am I getting 17? Because this isn't a 17, but I kept seeing the star energy. Well, 16 plus 1 is 17. So there you go. Another 7 in that way. For foundational healing as well, Spirit is saying wish fulfillment is coming, guys. I'm telling you. Chariot. I say that, and look at this. You've got Temperance, the King of Swords, the Star, that Aquarius energy, the Two of Cups, the Chariot, moving forward into those things in love, right? If this is partnership-wise, and you've 21, 12 on the clock, if you feel like your love life has lacked, step into the grace and beauty of who you are. I don't care if you're, how you identify. It doesn't matter. We all can exude grace and beauty. We can all be confident in who we are and how we feel about ourselves. And, and I will say, again, pause. If you feel like you're whether your relationship that you're already in, or the partnerships that you're in, or you've been single for so long, Spirit does not want you to repeat things. They want you to learn so that you can not have to give. You don't want to be in a lopsided relationship, right? So it's like there's been a pause for a period of reflection. King of Pentacles. This was supposed to be a time of you working on that stability, that security, gaining a construct of confidence within you. And you think about the King of Pentacles, like he's very confident. He's very confident in his ability to, whether it's make money, stay stable, grounded, well-to-do. He doesn't, and I like the King of Pentacles though, because he's like almost got a smile on his face, almost a smirk, like, hey, I did that. Yeah, I made that happen. Like, I feel like you guys are at a point right now, and it could be very, very subtle, where even if it's like, and I always use a to-do list, like I'm such a to-do list nut, if you accomplished all these things on your to-do list that maybe you've been procrastinating with this patience card, but then all of a sudden, like, you got a little fired up to get it done, or you've self-sabotaged in the sense of like putting it on the back burner, like when it's happening, when you're finally stepping into it and you're making things happen, you're like, I don't know how I just did that. Didn't think I could, but shit, I made it happen. Like you invested into yourself. You invested into making things, move forward. And that's really how this feels to me, is it's like you're becoming abundant. Now, as the Moon card pops out, you could be doing this in silence, whatever this is. Again, I said that you may not be sharing that information with others. I think there's a fear there, though, with this Moon that says, there's a Queen of Wands. You guys are getting intuitive hits, I'm going to call it, in regards to maybe someone else around you. And I did see that Five of Swords. It could be self-sabotage. But this is like somebody trying to take something from you. And you may feel like you've got to be very cautious in what you're doing and how you're moving. And because there's those lessons that you've learned that it's very likely that someone could come in and try to disrupt your peace. And I think there's a fear around holding on to that peace. Like, I've had peace before, but is it going to last this time? The Moon, Cancer, Pisces energy. You got Taurus. I've seen the Hierophant trying to pop out. There was too many cards. And so you could be dealing with a Taurus. Doesn't have to be. But I will also, Eight of Pentacles. I'm telling you, it's like whatever you've worked on, a lot of Pentacles, a lot of money energy here, finances, you could feel, again, like the things that were going on behind the scenes that you may not be aware of, or even things that you are aware of. There's a fear of a risk involved somehow. Like every bit of work that I've done, like I'm going to keep working behind the scenes. Like, the Moon is masking what he's doing in the dark. Like, if you're at home and the moon is out and you've got the doors shut and the window blinds shut, like, nobody can see in, right? Like, you're not opening your windows for daylight to happen. It's doing the work in the dark, and I do think that you guys are strategizing. You may not be completely certain. Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles showing itself, how you want to work, who you want to work with, but you're finding balance in your work area in general of how you're doing things, you know, in a general sense. What has worked, what has not worked, and then watching, like, it's almost like you're fearing the good and the bad, both, of what the outcome is after this period of waiting, because you've seen the highs and the lows of a lesson or a situation. So these messages are a little mixed this morning, a little bit all over the place, but still same concept, right? So it's just keep working on what it is that you're working on, and if you feel like you need to do it in silence, then do it in silence. But I do think that your efforts with the Sun here are absolutely going to pay off. Whatever you've been doing, you know, it's not for nothing. Look at that. Nine of Pentacles, abundant, beautiful. You could be having some kind of, I said about that boundaries, the Seven of Wands, there it is. And then we've got the Judgment card. If your finances have suffered, if your confidence has suffered, if, you know, you roll out of bed and just make it into work on time, whatever this is, you are stepping into solitary abundance for yourself. And you're going to feel good, and you're going to look good, and you're going to feel like you've conquered the world. It's like a teenager graduating high school going, well, there's the first chapter, yay, you know, off to college. You are building up a legacy within yourself, and maybe other people too may not see that. They maybe are not seeing exactly how this is happening, why you've put the boundaries up. Even people that are close to you, you could have kind of like put them on pause for a second too, while you were working through something. So this Sun card, you know, judgment. You had to make a judgment call. Seven of Cups. Oh, guys, come on. I'm going to call this a lot of options, though. And I think that's where that Two of Pentacles comes in and goes, okay, like, what are we going to do with this? Where are we going to take this to? The Hermit. Listen, there's so much, like, confusion and fear around what you've been able, Spirit is saying has been mass produced. And I think it's, if you've had negative feelings or negative thoughts in the past about, I just lost it. It came in and I lost it. About what it is you have worked on or worked through. There's still a fear that says, can I truly do this on my own? But you've got two cards of solitary energy here, the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit. You can. So you could just, your thoughts could be a little bit muddled. Like the vision is pretty clear as to where, if nothing else, where you want to go. But now it's kind of like filling in the pieces of how you get there, okay? Queen of Cups. Spirit is saying, again, that divine feminine energy, Cancer, Pisces again, and Virgo energy here, and Leo energy as well. Nurture that. If you feel like you're missing or lacking something, that's the thing that you should be nurturing to help create a balance, right? The Two of Pentacles is the need for balance that's going to bring in your happiness. It's going to create that balance, again, with justice, right? Being fair and cause for celebration at the end of the day. Someone else, too, could be a Libra, as I say this. They could be in a position where they're going to be forced to work with you, even if they don't want to. And they know this. You know, that's not going to resonate for all of you, but they could be being forced to have to take care of their responsibilities. You know, the Queen of Cups, she's a very responsible person. She has to be. She has to be emotionally mature and stabilized. And I do think emotionally you guys are stable. I think you're doing that well, but there's still some underlying confusion as to, where do I go now? Seven of Cups. What's my next option? And I think that you have gained a lot of insight to the star that our Hermit is carrying in his lantern, right? What he's been gifted. So pay attention to your gifts, your unique abilities, your creations, and you know what it is that you're good at, what sparks you, and draw attention to those strengths rather than the weaknesses as well. Okay, and I think that's going to help to clear clear up some of this confusion that you might be having. All right, let's get some advice, and I'm still a half an hour into this. The messages have been coming through pretty heavy, so if that's what Spirit guides me to do, that's what we shall do. All right, guys, let's see. You got to be kidding me, right? Like when the cards come out and they repeat themselves, broken record. You see that? Patience and healing. Now, let's go back down here. The underlying energy to the sacred geometry deck. Patience, right? We have, and then, oh, and here. So you've got patience again, and you've got healing again. You cannot make it up. And underlying those, the third eye times 2. And again, a highlight of that Queen of Wands in the midst of all of this, with this woman holding a coin. Your intuition is spot on. If you think somebody or something is taking shape in a certain way, you may not know the fine details with this Seven of Cups, but your knowledge of the past says, oh yes, you do know. You know what to expect here. And you may have people around you that are trying to cause confusion, but ultimately, you know, Spirit again is asking you to have patience through this closure that's slowly happening, and the healing that's taking place. Like once this, it's like, I almost feel like a vacuum cleaner, like, you know, sucks up the dirt. Like once this is swept up in a way, you can continue to heal, but you're also going to have to, Spirit is saying, you're going to put the work into your healing. Okay. So, all right, let's see. Advice for the collective today, Spirit. Protect. Again, that need for silence and not maybe sharing everything with everybody. It's a good time to protect your energy right now, guys. You know, don't give that shit out for free. You know, you've worked hard towards it, and have faith. Spirit is asking you to have faith that no matter what the challenges or the struggles have been, or even what you feel like you're facing right now, continue to have faith that everything is aligning for your higher good. Spirit is just asking you to make sure you stay out of your own way. Let them do what they do. Let them guide you. Let them align things appropriately. And all they're asking you to do is like, it's like a true test of faith. Like, trust us. Give us the benefit of the doubt that we're going to guide you where you need to go. We're going to help you see you through these things. And again, there's that subtle piece within that says, I know, I see, right? That third eye, I know, I see. Don't let your humanistic nature kick in and go, I have to control. Okay, that's the downside of the Chariot we saw earlier. You don't have to control it. Spirit just said to whoever is trying to control it, they'll be their own undoing. Compassion. Again, that nurturing energy, you pay attention. Pay attention and speak up. Be careful with that compassion coming out. I do think that you're trying to handle things in that loving, nurturing way. And again, this massive emphasis on that Queen of Cups, the healing, the sun, and then the divine feminine energy we opened up with. Pay attention to where you're coming from. Remember, you get what you give. So if you're coming in with some grace, try not to be snarky. Like, give grace, but don't do it in a passive-aggressive sense. But, you know, you're also going to pay attention to the people that don't come in to your world in that form. They show up, you know, off the hinges, off the rails, whatever you want to call it. So Spirit is saying, you know, say your piece, do it from a loving space, and then move on from that. Let it go. Release it. All right, guys, I'm leaving it there. Super long message again, but it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right, I'm sending you guys a ton of love, happiness. Hope you have a great Thursday, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.